extended, so you know.
Hello everybody, my name is Tim Music. I am the CEO here at JB Prince, and welcome back to a new edition of What's New here at JB Prince. I'd like to apologize really quickly. We've been kind of sort of absent from doing this for about 3 weeks now. We were trying to close out the year in addition to some traveling that we've been doing. We just returned from Lyon at the Bocuse d'Or, where we'd like to give kudos and congratulations to Team USA, who has won gold in the Bocuse for the first time. An extremely rigorous culinary competition, and I'm speechless. I can't believe that we're there, and I'm really excited for them, and I'm really excited for the USA and what the future holds in food. With that being said, I'd like to talk to you today about a new product, and it's a new product that's come to us from a company in Italy called Pavoni. They do some really interesting and innovative things, and you may know them for a lot of their silicone molds and a few other things. But they've created this new system called Adaptable. And basically what it is a series of rectangular frames that allows you to do some pretty interesting things with something that in the past was fairly basic and really more geared towards production. And I'd like to show you some of those things. So it's a system of 5 frames and a stainless steel, 5 stainless steel frames and a stainless steel base for portioning. And I'll start off by showing you the base, and then we'll go through the frames. And here we go. So really quickly, here is the base. And you'll notice on the base, I'm going to bring it out a little bit further. Pardon my fingerprints on it. But there are some notches all along. And again, these are not lines that have been drawn in. They're actually etched in pretty heavily. You can kind of maybe hear my nail catching on some of those. And what those allow you to do is lay your frame on there and give you an indicator so you can portion things accordingly after you remove the frame, and every piece is kind of sort of identical. So on the far corners, they give you a 90-degree mark, 2 little L's there, and then portions all the way up and through. So that's the platform that you would get your frame on top of. And then after that, here is the series of rectangular frames. The base numbers is, MA113, and then the first and largest frame in the lot is item number MA114, and as you can see again, fits right on top, kind of sort of goes corner to corner. You can build your product, remove it, and then conveniently cut it with the marks and do something really nice. And that's in its most basic form. You can then do something similar, with the next size and frame, which as you can see here is a little bit shorter, not quite as tall, but also the same dimensions. And yet there is one more that is also the same dimensions with even a shorter height. So right there you have 3 possibilities for doing something pretty basic, maybe a small cake, maybe some kind of ganache. You can simply cut it. And so you have those 3 frames there. Again, the smallest one being on the bottom. And then again, in that series, we have MA114, MA115, and MA117. It's lots of MAs, but we'll definitely post all these things for you online, so it's a little bit easier for you to look at. Beyond that, there are also 2 more frames yet. So again, 5 in total with the base. And these frames are designed for some slightly different reasons. They work in close cooperation with these 3 frames, and they can use as inserts. Possibly you might make an insert for one of these larger frames, and I'll show you. Again, this is probably a bad example because these are both similar in height, but you can make an insert and that would fit inside. And then there's yet another frame. This one was MA116, and this is MA118. And the idea is that you could be able to make inserts. You could stack them, possibly make something on the outside that's offset. Maybe you want to make a base layer, put something else on top. Maybe you want to have this kind of sort of pyramid effect. But the nice thing about it, again, is the possibilities are endless. It lends a lot of creativity to something that was, again, very basic and very simple for production in the past. And last but not least, we'll kind of give you this like little cheat sheet. I'm going to try and bring it out for you. It's not the largest graphic, I apologize. But if you notice on top here, this shows you the basic frames, the 5 styles, and then possible combinations for those frames to give you some inspiration and some other ideas. And of course, you can obviously come up with your own things. I happen to think this is a really cool, interesting, and dynamic setup for, again, stainless steel frame, something that really hasn't existed in the past before. And the last thing that I just wanted to note, and I'm going to kind of sort of rebuild this really quickly if you bear with me. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I have all of these conveniently on a full-size US standard sheet pan. So you can fit quite a few different frames on here or on a US sheet pan all at once. Do several different things all at once, different layers, maybe the same layer, but it allows you to produce quite a few things and quite a few different variations. And we happen to think it's a really cool and interesting thing.
Someone wants to know, do you have any square frames?
We do have square. They're not really considered frames. They're not quite as heavy as this. I will definitely answer in the post and give you some item numbers. They're actually more cake rings. We have them in 2 heights, I believe. We have them kind of sort of in a traditional tart mold height, which would be about 3/4 of an inch or a little bit of a hair under, and they would be solid. And we also, I believe, have some perforated ones that Valrhona has produced. And then we also have another entremet style of square ring, which is solid all around. And I think, don't hold me to this, about 1 3/4 inches in height. And they go from as small as 4 inches to as big as about 9 inches. But we'll put that in the post for you because I don't have those numbers in my head offhand. Any more questions real quick because we're about to wrap it up. And again, this is Adaptable by Pavoni, something new that's kind of derived from something old, but a fresh idea and a new way to be creative and fun with your desserts or maybe possibly something savory. And the one last bit of information I wanted to share with you is please be around Friday afternoon if you can. We'll post a little bit more information shortly, but we're going to be doing some things with Ulabo, with sous vide, and with HACCP, which we know is a big, big, big issue for a lot of people who are trying to cook sous vide across the United States. So stay tuned. We'll give you a little more information about that shortly. And thank you very much and see you all soon.